Psalm 89 verses 1 through 4 say this: I will sing of the loving kindness of the Lord forever. To all generations I will make known your faithfulness with my mouth. For I have said, loving kindness will be built up forever. In the heavens you will establish your faithfulness. I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn to David my servant. I will establish your seed forever and build up your throne to all generations. The opening verses of this psalm point us to God's covenant once again, right? We saw God's covenant promise that through Abraham and then Isaac and then on to Jacob and then from Jacob into his son Judah. But these first 4 verses are worshiping God in the covenant promise now given to and through David. God, it's your faithfulness that will guarantee David's throne forever. That's what's being talked about in these verses. And so it's very, very amazing, as verse 3 and 4 even say it. I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn to David my servant. I will establish your seed forever and build up your throne to all generations. This is not a covenant based on man. This is not a covenant based on anything other than God. God makes the covenant, and God bases the covenant on himself. And so the worship of this psalm is on the faithfulness of God who keeps his own covenant. So God, because the covenant was made by you, we know that it will be carried through. That's the psalmist's praise here. So we can worship in that because the promised Messiah had to come through the line of David. We now have another piece, right? He'll be born of a virgin. We looked at that. He'll come through Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Judah, and now even on to David. Now, with Jesus being born over 1,000 years after David, how can we prove any of this? How does any of this matter if we can't confirm that he comes from the line of David? For Jesus to be the Messiah forever, there must be accurate records that prove him to come down through this line, the line of David, the way he was promised. This is why I love the Bible. Luke chapter 3, verses 23 through 38, Luke gives us the genealogy of Jesus Christ. Luke traces down through this large list of names, and he does it in chapter 3 because this is the start of Jesus' ministry. Luke wants to give us the qualifications that prove who Jesus is, that qualify what he came to do. And it's really amazing. As Luke gives us this genealogy of Jesus Christ, he traces it through Mary. Nobody does this. When you give a genealogy, they trace down through the male's line. But Luke has done this on purpose. He has chosen to trace Jesus from David through Mary because Jesus doesn't have the blood of Joseph in him. He's adopted by Joseph. He was born of a virgin. So he's born of Mary, meaning that he needs to get the blood of David in him through Mary. And that's exactly what Luke has done for us. He's given us the genealogy through Mary so that we can confirm that Jesus has the blood of King David in him. As Psalm 89 worships the faithfulness of God, and it looks to this promise of David's throne forever, we can look at the Christmas story and worship in the faithfulness of God. God made this promise. God kept this promise. God revealed how he kept this promise. And God has set us up to worship. Worship in a faithful God that always keeps his promises.